Okay, good day everyone. So this video will cover the discussion on your chapters 4 to 5 na post-test. So apologies no kung medyo nalisuran na ako ang inyong exam. Padala ka siguro ko sa moment. Anyhow, I'll try to think of a way nga basig makatago sa inyo o rematch ng exam. I'll just announce later something later on. So hopefully makatago sa inyo ha. Anyhow, so let's start now with our discussion. So, but before we proceed, let me turn off muna my camera para di mag-agaw ang ilang signal. Okay. So, by the way, before I continue, na please ready your calculators para makasunod mo sa ako while I'll discuss the solutions to these questions. Okay, so number one, or I'm not sure if wala na siya number sa inyo because the items were randomized sa atong Edmodo. So first question, no? Your uncle will sell his bicycle shop for $400 with seller financing. So meaning, kana bitawng in a sense nga when you say seller financing, or siya og value niya today is 400,000 pero ang remain murag kanang imo ding uncle is murag pa installment ihang bayad sa imuha. So at a 12% nominal annual rate. The terms of the loan would require you to make 6 equal bi-monthly end of every 2 months payments per year for 4 years. So total payments is actually 4 times 6, that's 24. And then make an additional final balloon payment of $100 at the end of the last month. So that would be the kanang 100,000 is paid at the end of the 4 years. So what would your equal bi-monthly payments be? Okay, so with that, ato asang magbuhat ta og timeline. So let me open first ato ang previous discussions para makopira na ako ang timeline na ato ang gibuhat. So wait for a while. Okay, so I now have the timeline. Okay, so here. So ingon siya nga at period zero, the value at period zero, the value is $400. Okay, so as you can see guys, dollar sign mo na siya, dapat dollars po ang inyong answer, okay? So, and then, ingon siya nga, muna siya nga to ang, kung makarecall mo sa to ang equivalent value nga topic. So, muna siya imong liability and imong payment is na kay 100,000 nga, what do you call this one? 100,000 nga payment at the very last, and then naadayon kay periodic pila to ka 24 additional payments is mo run siya all throughout the year. So page center nga 24 periodic payments or bi-monthly payments. Bi-monthly payments. So meaning, dapat ang present value ni both of this is equal to 400,000. So, natay 400,000 is equal to katong 24 PV of 24 bi-monthly payments plus the PV of 100,000. So, para dayon tawag ani oy, para dayon what do you call this one, kanang makuha nato ang kanang the PV of kanang makuha nato si PV of 24 bi-monthly payments. So we simply have to deduct the PV of 100,000 from the 400,000 iyang value today. So with that, we first have to solve for the present value of 100,000. So PV of 100,000 is equal to pila man siya. Let us see. So PV of 1 raman eh. So 100,000 multiply nato siya ng 1 plus our I is that's 0.12 and bi-monthly so 6. And then raised by monthly. Lagi 6. So raised to the power of, that's negative 24, which is 6 payments per year times 4 years. Okay. For 4 years times 6 payments. Okay. So this is the present value of our 100,000. Now if we deduct this from the 400,000, so 400,000 minus this one, this will now be our PV of 24 PMP. Okay, if you substitute this one, if you transfer 100, if you solve for PV of 24 BMP, yang now would be PV of 24 BMP is equal to 400,000 plus minus the PV of 100,000. Okay, okay. So with that, so PV of 24 BMP is this one. Now the question is the payment naman, no? So we already have, if you can recall, if you know the formula for ordinary annuity, because this will be paid at the end of every period. So this is ordinary annuity. It's PV. It's equal to um 1 plus I raised to the power of n. I no. 1 less 1 plus I raised to the power of negative n. Negative n. Tapos all over. Okay. All over I. So that's just it. That's sobrang guguan. And then, sorry, naparinig siya payment. So, payment times this one. Okay. So, with that, ang amount is payment, ang unknown is payment man, no? So, payment is equal to PV divided by this one. Okay. Sige. So, with that, so payment is equal to sa man siya? B, that's PV is 337,828. So that's over 1 minus 1 plus 1 plus our I is 0.12 over 1 over 12 over 6 and raised to the power of negative 24. 24. Okay, and over that's 0.12 over 12. Okay. So let's see. Payment should be, oh, happened here. Bakit iba yung na-solve ko? Let me see. Naka-bonus naman to. Wait lang. Monthly payments. Wait lang ha. 1 point. Let me see. Negative 24. I may have been bangag when I was trying to solve this. Because, by the way, guys, why am I rechecking my answer? Because this is my suggested what do you call it? Suggested what do you call it? Key answer key. The one in red font. Okay. So shift store alpha. Now we divide alpha A with Mm. So, naayos something wrong sa kong calculation. One less, one plus, is equal negative 4, negative point. It's not over 12, it's over 6 because, oh my god, JP. 6 periods. Okay, okay. So the answer is 71.861.34 or, sorry. Chapod ko. Okay, so we'll use this one, the unrounded number. Okay, so here we go. So this should be your answer. Now, let's move on to problem number 2. So I think this is the same. No, it was strange, but it has the same concept. So your uncle will sell you his bicycle shop for $300,000 with seller financing at 6% nominal annual rate. The terms of the loan would require you to make 12 equal beginning of the month payments per year for 5 years, and then make an additional final balloon payment of 60,000 at the end of the last month. What would your equal monthly payments be? So we still, you know, we still make use of this timeline, but the figures have been changed quite a bit. So first is the bicycle shop is worth 300,000 today, and the final balloon payment is 60,000, while the number of monthly payments is 12 times 5. That's 60 month beginning of the month payments, right? Monthly payments. So again, we'll still be using this concept. So the current value of 300,000 is equal to okay. Oh my God. I'm sorry. It's equal to the PV of 60 PV of 60 monthly payments plus the PV of 60K. Okay. So PV of 60 monthly payments, 60 monthly payments is equal to 300,000 less the PV of 60K. So with that, we first have to solve for the PV of 60K. So let's see here. PV of 60K is equal to, so we have 60,000 and we'll multiply this with 1 plus our I is 0.06 over 12 raised to the power of negative 5 years times 12 months per year. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. And so now after getting our PV of 60,000, now we can solve for the of PV of uh, 60 monthly payments is equal to, that's 300,000 less this one. Okay. And then after that, now we solve for the payment. So if you can remember, for the PV of annuity due, the formula would be, that's 1 wait no 1 less 1 plus I raised to the power of negative n, and then all over I, we have payment here, payment times, and then multiply the state with 1 plus I. Okay, so with that in mind, we solve for payment, and it should be PB80 divided by this one. We add an additional bracket to that. Okay. So so our payment here should be with our PVAD is this one. So we divided this with 1 less 1 plus our I is 0.06 over 12 raised to the power of negative 5 years times 12. Okay. And we divide that with our I, which is 0.06 over 12. And we multiply the whole thing with 1 plus 0.06 over 12. Okay, so our payment should be 4,900. Oh, what happened here again? Let's do it again manually. Okay, there might be something wrong again with the way I solved it on the Excel. So let me try to check it on my calculator. So the 300,000 less the present value of our 60K. So that's 1.005 raised to the power negative 60. Um, so this one, and then we shift for alpha. So alpha A divided by 1 plus, no, it's not 1 plus 1 less 1.005 raised to the power of negative 60 over 0.005 times 1.005. Ooh, calculated it correctly here. Okay. I'm going to show you sort of financing annual rate terms that would require you to make beginning of the month payments for 5 years. Mm-hmm. Okay. So this means that the correct answer is not this one, but this one. Okay. So I'll just adjust your scores later on sa Edmodo if some people got this correctly. Okay. Let me see. Mm-hmm. Terms of the numbers card. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so what could have happened here? Did I make it like that? Mm-hmm. It's not it. Okay, sorry. Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Insurance is really good. Yeah, this one is really fun. Uh, I'm not okay. Mm-hmm. Yep. 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 Okay. Mm. I'm gonna say I'm simple would require to make that equal to make an additional finding. Yeah, I think this one is more correct than this one. Okay, so let's move on to item number 3. Mhm. Ah, Ma'am Joy sila yun? Kung bandunggan pa ba ko? Nangyayari na kayo kong tingog? Ay, di ay? Ah, sige, adjust ako akong tingog. Number 2 sa bangkong ko. Wala ko gahong-hong. Sige, sige. Okay. Sige, sige, sige. Okay, so let's move to item number 3. So before a down payment of 15,000, a car costs 85,000. So this is before down payment. Okay, so if the statement was after a down payment, it simply means that your if the statement was after a down payment of 15,000, a car costs 85,000. This simply means that the whole car costs 100,000 and the remaining balance is 85,000. While for this problem, what was stated was before a down payment of 15,000, a car costs 85,000. So with that, our remaining balance is 70,000. So it was 85,000 less our deduction. Okay, so this is our balance. And then, so the balance will be paid off in 48 equal monthly payments with the interest of 24% per year on the unpaid balance. Okay? So since wala siya giingon whether beginning or end of the month siya nga payment, directly din kag-assume na ordinary annuity ni siya. So assuming that you missed the 30th payment but managed to pay all other annuity payments as scheduled, how much is your liability after making your 47th payment, which should have been your 48th? Okay. So first is we have to solve muna for our payments. So since we already know our present value of 70,000, so we simply have to use this formula. The one that we used in uh, problem number 1. Okay, so payment is equal to, so this is 70,000 divided by mhm, that would be 1 less 1 1 plus our I is 0.24 over 12, and we raised that to our N is negative 48 equal annual payments in sinabi eh. And then we close and divide it by our I of 0.24 over 12. Okay, and it's just that. Yeah. So our payment should have been 2282128. So if you actually construct uh, a what they call this one, an annuity table for this one, it would look like this. So the balance is 70,000, right? Yeah. So 70,000, and our interest is um our interest is how much was that? 0.02 or 0.24 0.24 over 12, so that's 0.02. And then interest would be this one times this one. And our annuity payment is this one. Okay. And so our balance would be this one plus our interest minus our payment. So this is our balance at the end of the year. So if you continue that below until we reach 0, which is 48 payments, uh let me just complete the table. Okay. And then mhm. No. Call this one. Okay. Until we go 48, right? So that was 40. Okay. So by then, on our 48th payment, if we number this by 1, 2, 3. So by then, for our 48th payment, so dapat 0 na siya. But he asked, the question was that, what if we missed our 30th payment? How much liability do we have left? So let's look for our 30th payment, and he said that if we missed it, Okay, and then uh, okay. So the answer should be 3259. Okay. So sir, will that be the only way to solve for the remaining liability? No. Actually, there is an easy way to solve for this one, which is you simply have to solve for the future value of the missed payment. Okay? So since you missed it, this missed payment will actually earn interest. So your liability at that time will be the principal, the payment which was missed plus its interest earned for the remaining periods. Okay, wait. Yes, sir. Yes, yes. Wait lang. Wait lang, mga 8:30. Sige, go. Okay, so is there an easier way? So again, you simply have to solve for the simple future value, simple compound amount of this this missed payment. Okay, so your what do you call this one? Your your remaining liability would be equal to the compound amount of this one. So it's just simply this, multiply this by 1 plus our I is 0.24 over 12. And the number of compounding periods that you will use is 48, which is the 48th month, less the month that you missed the payment, so less 30. So raise to the power of negative 48, so, or let's just say 30 minus 48, or like negative, and then closing parenthesis, 48 minus 30. Okay. Ay my gosh, bakit present value iyon? Future value pala tayo. Sorry. Future value nga compound amount nga, JP. Ano ba? Sorry, guys. Okay, so ayun. So 3259.44, which is this one. If you actually expand this, you'll get the same amount. Ay, bakit ba? Yun. Diba? So, again, this is the easier way and this is the longer way. Okay? Now, let's go to item number 4. So, before a down payment of 15,000, the balance will be paid off. Okay, I think they were just using the same information. So, the balance is, again, it's 70,000. That is simply 85,000 minus the down payment of 15,000. The balance will be paid off in 48 equal monthly payments with the interest of 24% per year, and then paid balance. What is your adjusted payment for the 31st month, 48th month? Okay. So actually, guys, okay, let's just use the same table. Okay. But the thing here now is that he wants to pay it off uh, for the remaining periods. Okay. So again, mhm. So meaning, di ba he missed his payment on the 30th, right? Now he wants to do it in a way na for this for the remaining 18 periods, he will adjust his payments para ma-zero ni siya here. So with that, we will now solve for we will now solve for, what do you call this one? We will now solve for the payment for this present value. So this is the present value at the end of the 30th year. Now, how will you solve for this? Sir, do we have to, if you would ask me, sir, do we have to build that long table for us to be able to know how much is how much is the value at the end, at the date when the payment was missed? No, you don't have to. But there is an easier way of doing this one. So what is the easier way? So first is, our question now is, what is the PV at the date of missed payment. So with that, first is you have to solve for the PV at the date of at the date at prior to the missed payment. So we will solve now for the PV on the 29th after the 29th payment. Okay. So how many payments should have been left? So that's this one plus that one. So how many payments is that? It's 11. 11. Oh my God. Why 11? 29. So that's 48 minus 29. That's 19 payments left. Now, this will be your the period that you will use in computing for the present value of payments. Okay. So we will divide that by 22822.13. Payment here is 2282.13. Okay. And so our PV would be just simply compute for the PV. So that's payment, which is 2282.13. Multiply that by the table factor, or that's one PV. So one, Jesus Christ. One less one, uh, 1 plus 0.24 over 12 raised to the power of negative 19, okay, divided by 0.24 divided by 12. And remember, oh, this is not the payment, no, because this is, wait lang. Yeah, it is. Okay, so yeah, what was that? 124 over 12. Okay. So your PV on the 29th should be 35,780.29, which is equal to that, right? Okay, see what. So that's how you that's your PV at the end, at the date prior to the missed payment. Now, how will you know the P, the value of your liability when there was a missed payment? So you simply have you simply have to, because in computing for the supposedly next present value, your formula would simply be this one, multiply that with 1 plus I, 1 plus 0.24 over 12, and then you deduct the payment. Is this one, okay? So if there was a payment here, your present value should have been 34,214, right? But again, it was missed. So since it was missed in your formula in getting the next present value or the next value, then remove from your formula the deduction of payment. So simply multiply your present value previously by 1 plus I, or simply add the compounded interest. Okay? Or the interest for that period. So your what do you call this one? Your present value uh, at the date of the missed payment is 36496, which is equal to here. So with that, this is the value that you will compute for the new payment. So this is your new PV. So PV is equal to this one. And then um, PV at the date of missed payment. Okay. This is PV prior to missed payment. Okay. And then now we simply have to solve for payment. So payment here is equal to our PV, which is this one, and we divide that by 1 plus 1 less, I'm sorry, 1 plus 0.24 over 12 raised to the power of negative. How many periods are there left? So the remaining period left is 18, which is uh, 48 minus 30. Sir, why did we use 19 kanina and now we're using 18? Now remember that the reason why we used 19 kanina because we were solving for the PV at the date prior to the missed payment. So you simply have to add 1. So 18 plus 1. It became 19. Kaya mo atras magkag-isa pa. Now, after solving, di ba, nag-solve na yung taog PV at the missed payment. So meaning, nag-move tag 1 period dayon. So muna siya nga, ang remaining periods na to is 18. And then, over I, so that's point, tama ba ko? Sige. That's point 24 over 12. That's just it. Someone JP. Okay, I got you, I got you. Okay, that one. Sige. So your new payment should be 2434.35. Okay, so let's try it here. Kung ma-change ba iyahang, ma-change, ma-equal to 0 ba siya? Okay, so as you can see guys, ma-zero yun siya. Nalang siya 0.035 because we rounded off here during the process. But if we didn't round it off, then wala yun na siya, wala na siya extra. Okay? So with that, your answer should be 2434.35. Now let's go to item number 5. So Steve and Ed are cousins who were born on the same day and both turned 30 today. Their grandfather began putting $2,500 per year into a trust fund for Steve on his 20th birthday, and he just made an 11th payment into the fund. The grandfather or his estate's trustee will make 35 more $2,500 payments until a 46th and final payment is made on Steve's 65th birthday. Okay, the grandfather set things up this way because he wants Steve to work, not be a trust fund baby, but he also wants to ensure that Steve is provided for in his old age. If the trust earns an annual return of 10%, how much is Steve's nest egg after the 46th payment? Okay. Now there are two ways that you can look at it. There are two ways where you can look there are two ways in looking into this problem. So the first one is diba, there are 46 payments. There are 46 payments, but there are if you count the actual number of years, there are only 45 years. Okay? And for this, you can either look at this way on a future value of ordinary annuity point of view or future value of annuity due na point of view. So if you look at it on a future value of ordinary annuity na point of view, then disregard the first payment which was made on the 20th birthday and consider the payments from the 21st to the 65th. So you have 45 payments of annuity. And then for the first payment, use compound amount formula and add this to the future value of ordinary annuity of the 45 payments. Okay. Now, what is the second way of looking at this? Problem. So, if you would look at this problem using annuity due, then you ignore the last payment. Okay, so consider the first 45 payments. So from the payment made on the 20th birthday until the 64th birthday. So you have 45 payments of annuity, annuity due, 45 payments of ordinary annuity. Uh, okay, 45 payments of annuity due and an additional payment of last payment. Last payment at gross amount. Because on the 65th birthday, you simply it will no longer this payment is made on the 65th birthday, which will no longer earn interest. Okay, so the last payment at gross amount will be added to the future value of annuity due of the 45 payments. So us let us prove whether or not we can actually get the same amount using these uh, perspectives. Okay, so let's start with FVOA. So our future value of ordinary annuity for the for the last 45 payments, or the payments, the second payment to the 46th payment is, the payment is 2,500, and simply multiply this with an annuity formula, ordinary annuity formula. 1 plus our I is point 10. Was it point 10? Point 10 over point 10, simply 1.10, and raised to the power of 45, and we deduct 1 over point 10, simply point 10. Okay, so with that, this is our, oh, what happened here? Yeah, this is our future value of the last 45 payments. Now, what is now the compound amount of the first 2,500 payment? So compound amount, that would be 2,500, multiply that by 1 plus point 10 raised to the power of 45 years. Okay, and total would be this one plus this one. So you got 1979488.30, I believe. Okay, di siya musugot. It's, I sorry. Oh, kaya pala. Okay. Oh, yeah, 0.30. Okay. Now, if we use the second perspective, will we arrive at the same answer? Let's see. So, FVAD. So, actually, it's the same with this formula, but we simply just have to multiply it again with 1 plus point 10. Okay. And then, our last payment of 2,500. So, our total should be 197,948.30. Okay, so no matter what way you would look at this problem, you will still arrive at the same answer. Now, let's move on to problem number 6. So, okay, 30 was fund for Steve on his 20th birthday, and he just made an 11th payment credit fund. Okay, have more. Okay, I think this first part is actually this one. Okay, nothing was changed. Okay, so until now, the grandfather has been disappointed with Ed, hence has not given him anything. However, they recently reconciled, and the grandfather decided to make an equivalent provision for Ed. He will make the first payment to a trust for Ed today, and he has instructed his trustee to make 35 additional equal annual payments until Ed turns 65, when the 36th and final payment will be made. If the trust for Steve earns an annual return of 10%, while the trust for Ed only earns 11%, how much must the grandfather put into Ed's trust today and each subsequent year to enable him to have the same retirement nest egg as Steve after the last payment is made on their 65th birthday. Now, before we continue with this, let us check muna by using a table if actually we arrived at the correct answer. No? So, remember that the beginning balance was 0. So, interest is 0.10. And if you look at it on a, yeah, so I know that the beginning balance is 2,500 because it was deposited first on the 20th birthday, and the interest is 10%. And yeah. No, 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 no. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then, mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, okay. Tapos, yeah, zero, payment, interest, and then total, compound amount. Okay. So, for example, this. So zero, you had zero amount first, and then you need to deposit it to 500. So it would earn an interest of 10%. So total compound amount at the end of the period with this one plus this one. This is the first payment. So okay, this will continue, and the interest earned will be on this one plus the payment and then multiply that by 10. Okay, so mm, mm, it's the beginning plus. Okay. Okay, so we continue this for 5 periods. So that's 63. That's 66 payments, right? See if we have 66 payments. We have 66 payments. Hmm. One. Bakit 14 to? And then yung sagot ko is 19197. Mm-hmm. Let's see this muna. Tama ko. 500 mo, di ba? Ay, bakit 66 payments? Hindi naman 66 eh. 46 lang, di ba? My God, JP. 46 payments lang. Now, on the 46th payment, on the 46th payment, since dili naman siya matulog pag another year, so meaning this will no longer earn interest. Okay, so this should be your nest egg, 197,488, which is equal to here. Okay. So yun. Now, let's go to problem number 6. So meaning our target nest egg is this one, the nest egg of Steve. So since we will be using the rounded off amount, which is, I think, di man siya like yeah, it's 0.30. Okay, so tama na siya sa 0.30. Okay, so this is our target nest egg is 1979488.30. Okay. So that's our target nest egg. And um, what is that? The trust fund of Steve earns 10%, while the trust fund for Ed earns actually 11%. Okay, and the number of payments is this one. So actually, I am very comfortable in using the formula on this one because it's not very complicated, because you simply have if you would express this one on a formula basis, it would be payments multiply that by 1 plus 1 plus I, right? And then base, no, this is a future value. Okay, 1 plus I raised to the power of, that's 46, right? 45, 45 payments. 45 minus 1, and simply multiply it with, yeah, no. Pa, okay, and multiply this with 1 plus I, and you add payment. So if you will be looking for payment, then using this FVAD plus last payment. So if using this formula, and if you're looking for the last payment, if you last payment, if using this formula and you're looking for payment, then get payment out of this expression. So this one, and since you already divided payment, you divide this equation with payment, so payment will be erased, and this expression will be maintained, right, until here. And then um, we add additional one here because after the plus sign, you divide payment by payment, so you'll get 1. Okay, so this is now your simplified formula for VAD plus the last payment. Now, so for your payment, you simply have to divide FVAD plus last payment with this one. I'm sorry. With that one. Okay, so with that being said, so our payment will be equal to our FBAD is this one, and we divide that by this expression. So this is 1 plus our I is 0.11, yes, um, raised to the power of 45 payments, and then minus 1 over I, which is 0.11, and then close it more. I think we have to add 2 more. And then we multiply this. This has to be green. No. Okay, violet. Where's the green one? Okay. Violet. Okay. And then multiply this with 1 plus 0.11. Okay. And close that. And you add 1. And we're done. Okay. So what happened here? You're okay, because we will not be using 45. My God, so silly of me. We only have how many left? 35 years. Okay, so 30, we make 36 payments, which is for 35 annuity dues plus the 36 last payment. Okay, so yeah, that's why. Okay, 35. Okay, 35. So what happened here? Did I use 10% when I was solving for this one? 1979488. Okay, sorry. Less. 1 point, no. That's 1.11 raised to the power of negative, no, 35 minus 1 over 0.11. Ah, plus 1. Ay, times 1.11 plus 1. Oh, kaya ito pala talaga. Okay. Let's see, 5206.93 times point 1.11 raised to the power of 35 minus 1 over 0.11 plus 5 times, ah, 35, right? Yeah. Okay. Oo nga. Pero 8, 9, 20. Hmm. Minute. Dito naman na. 10%. The new values. Pagod na siguro ako nito nung nagsasolve ako. Yeah, okay. So the answer actually, guys, is not this one, but this one. Okay. So let's move on to problem number 7. Okay, so Steve and Ed are cousins who were both born in the same day and both turned 30 today. Their grandfather began putting 2,000 per year into a trust fund. So I think if this is the same, let's try to do this. Have the same retirement nest egg as Steve after the last payment is made on the 65th payment. Okay, so now our target is still this one. This is our target nest egg. Okay, so for this one is we use our what do you call this one? For this we use interpolation. So trial and error. Now with that said, let's start with well Steve's what do you call this one? Steve's trust earns 10%, right? So in order to accumulate a bigger amount, then we have to aim for a bigger interest rate because for future values, what do you call this one? For future values, the higher the interest, the higher the future value. So with that, our payment is 2,500. Period here is 35. And then the formula that we will be using is this one, the FAD plus LP. Okay, so we'll be using this one. Okay, so with that said, for our first I, let's start with 0.15 because as you can see, he is 10 payments behind. Okay, so let's start with 15. So that would be our payment is 2,500. Multiply that by 1 plus I, which is 0.15, raised to the power of 0.15 is assumed again, okay? It's assumed it's part of your trial and error process. Raised to the power of 35 periods. And we deduct 1. And that would be over 0.15 because it's annually. And then we'll multiply that again with 1 uh, plus 0.15, and we add to 500. Okay, so we get 2.5. Ooh, this is, so I may actually be mistaken with this one. To 535 minus 1. Mm-hmm. That is actually it. Mm-hmm. So it's not, oh, it's not 0.15, it's actually way higher. So let's start, let's try with 0.14. I was so bulag na guys because I was making this exam around 4 a.m. So the exam is actually valid, but my answer key is not. So I'm sorry for that. So let's go down by 0.13. No, layo ka. Mali ako answer key. Bagag na kay ko. Pag suwab la ko ani. Oh. Now, it's way lower, so let's go with 0.14. So 14.14. Okay. So with this, you can see that our what do you call this one? Our target amount is in between 13% and 14%. So with that, let's see. Um, with our high-low method, so target nest egg is again this one. So this would be our high, this is our low, and this is our x. So let's go to x low, high low. Okay, so x low, high low. So that would be this one less the low amount over the high amount lesser than the lower amount. Okay, and we divide the two. What do we get? Okay, so we simply have to add this. Let me see again. High minus low, x minus low, high minus low. So sa low tayo start eh. Hmm, tama, diba? Pero bakit buong buo to? 1979. Hmm? Wait a minute. 432. Ay, oo nga, no? Wait lang, guys. Uh, B. So as you can see, guys, actually it's not 13. It's actually this is our low and this is our high because 197.48 is in between this amount and this amount. Oh my God, I'm so banag. Okay, so with that, x minus low, which is this one, and we deduct that with our uh low. Okay, high first. High minus low. Okay. So we add we see 0.00055. Okay. So with that simply means that we start with 0.14. So if you answer 14%, I'll be good with that because it's actually very near. But since we in solving for future values and present values, we don't aim with a lesser value, but we aim with a higher value, even if it's not exact. So let's start with maybe 14.01. So let's start point, because if you round up, let's just because it's two decimal places, right? And if you round it off with two decimal places, this is just 0.000. So it's safe to say it's 4.14. But let's start with 0.1401. So what will be the value? Let's see. 0, 1, 0, 1. It's 190. Okay, so meaning our your answer should have been 14% or 14.01. Either way, I'll consider it as correct. Okay. I don't know what happened here when I was solving this one, but at least, diba, the answer key is actually corrected through this video. So, next is we have. So let's just yeah, we're actually checking it by replacing it here. Is my formula correct? Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. Okay. So next is we have problem number 8. So you want to buy a new sports car 6 years from now, and you plan to save $2,400 per year beginning today. You will deposit your savings in an account that pays 7.2 interest. Suppose your target amount is the equivalent value of 6 payments. How much are you lacking if you have missed to deposit the second payment? So actually number 8 is just a annuity due version of problem 1. Okay. So with that, so what is our target amount? So our future value of annuity due is that's 2,400 multiplied by 1 plus our I is 0.072 divided divided by that annual. So it's annual. Okay. So raised to the power of 6 and what do you call this one, raised to the power of 6 and raised to the power of 6, okay, minus 1 over 0.072, and you multiply that by 0.07, 1 plus 0.07. Oh, why is it negative? 1 plus 0.072 raised to the power of what's happening here? Let me see. Oh, 6 minus 1. How come? Just to be safe na lang siguro. Minus 1. Still negative. Why? 1, 1, 2, 7, 2, 6. Okay, I get it. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, yeah, that's it. So this is your target amount. That's 18,497. Now, what would be your according to this is you have missed your deposit. So let's go to the long way first. So beginning today, so again we have 2,400, and this will actually earn, and you have 0 and you deposit 2,400, and this will earn you what, 0.072 interest per year plus this one, and multiply that by 0.072, and then compound amount, sorry, this one. Okay, and then we continue, and then here we do that, And then copy this one. And this is for 6 years. So that's 2, 4, 5, 6. So at the end of the last period, you should actually accumulate this amount. Now, according here is that you have missed the second deposit. So you missed this one. How much are you lacking? Ah, I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, how much are you lacking? So this is the only amount. Oh my God, that's the wrong one. Okay, okay. So this is the amount that you only have gathered because you missed the second payment. So how much are you lacking? So this one minus this one. So 397.70. Now, sir, do we have to build the table again to solve for that? No longer. We simply have to compute for the future value of the missed payment. So simply the future value of missed payment. So it's which is simply 2,400. Multiply that by our fee compound amount formula. That's 1 plus 0.072 raised to the power of that's 6 years. Yeah, 6 years. Oh, what happened here? Oh, no, 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 no. It's not 6 years. It's not 6 years because you missed it on the beginning of the second year. So how many years do you still have? So second year, so second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 5 years lang. 5 years lang mo siya i-roll forward, kumbaga. Okay, 397.701 or 397.70. Okay, so let's go to item number 9. Your grandmother just died and left you $200 in a trust fund that pays 13% interest. You must spend the money on your college education and you must withdraw the money in 5 equal installments beginning immediately. Assuming that after calculating the should be annual withdrawal, you withdraw the amount during the beginning of the first, third, and fourth years for first, third, and fourth years. In total, how much can you withdraw at the beginning of the fifth year if you have missed withdrawing at the beginning of the second year? Okay. So first is we have to compute first how much is our periodic withdrawals. So that this is actually a present value of annuity due problem. So with that, our payment should be payment or our withdrawal should be our present value, which is the $200,000, and we divide that with the table factor of our annuity, ordinary annuity due. So that's 1 plus our I is 13 annual. This is annual payment, right? So 13, 5, okay, 0.13 raised to the power of, this is negative 5, okay, and then close that and we divide that by 0.13. Yes, yes. And we multiply this again by 1 plus 0.13 because this is again an annuity due. Yes. So this should have been your annual withdrawal. Okay, so let's go first to our longer version so that you have 200,000 you have a 200,000 what do you call this one? You have a 200,000 beginning, and then you withdraw 53 to 1.16, okay? And then your interest of 13% is actually this one because you withdraw every time and then every beginning, and then you multiply this by 0.13, so this is your interest. So your balance at the end of the period would be this one less the withdrawal plus the interest. Okay, so okay, actually let's use the unround version. Makuha na to, ma-zero out na yun siya. Okay, and then ooh, okay. So 5 installments, right? Okay, so ma-zero gid imong account at the end of Wait lang guys. Someone is asking me something. Hmm. Uh, mhm. Okay, so next is okay. So again, according to this problem, is you missed the second withdrawal. You missed this. So meaning, oh, okay, you missed the second withdrawal. Okay, so with that, how much can you withdraw at the beginning of the fifth year? Okay. So with that, at the beginning of the fifth year, ha ha ha. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. Let me just look at this properly first. Mm-hmm. So, one, two, okay. Mm, hmm. At the beginning of the fifth year. Ah. Mm-mm. Mm. Okay. 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 Tama. Okay. Mhm. So here kasi guys is that on the on kani siyang interest is dili naman ka mag-earn because you will withdraw man at the in a sense is you withdraw at the beginning of the period, so supposedly ma-zero na siya, so wala na kay ma-withdraw pa. Now since tawag nito, since na-miss nimo ang imong second payment, pila man imong total nga ma-withdraw, so it would be your supposedly withdrawal for the fifth year plus the remaining amount at the start of the fifth year. So that's 122929, or simply the remaining amount at the end of the fourth year. So that's actually there are actually three ways in which you can solve this one. So first is um ano ba? And not actually, it's not actually three ways. Uh, um, there's a simpler way wherein you can solve for this one. So first is you know that you have a fifth out of a withdrawal on the fifth year amounting to 53 to 1. Then you solve for the future value of the missed payment. So that's 53 to 1.16. No, rounded off value na daw eh. So 50 to 1.16, and you simply just multiply that with wait now at the very beginning of every year, right? What's that beginning immediately? Okay, so how many periods do you still have? That's two, beginning of two, and then three, four, five. That's three periods. Okay, 1.13 raised to the power of 3. Okay, so with that, your total withdrawable amount would be this one, and you will still get the same value. Okay? Sige. Now, wait lang. Wait lang guys ha. Hmm. Wait lang. So now let's move to the next item, which is number 10. So your grandmother just died. I think is this the same? This is the same one, no? You must spend the money on your college education. You must withdraw. Okay. Instead, decided to just withdraw for annual beginning today. How much money will be left in your trust fund after your fifth withdrawal? Okay, sige. So, you decided to withdraw 45,000 imong payment every time. Okay, ayun, okay. Now, we can go about this longer on a longer way. So by using this one after your fifth withdrawal, no? Mm, This is 45,000. Oh, mm. Okay, sige. So, you withdrew 45,000. Di na siya mag-earn ng interest, no? Okay. Tapos beginning, let's see. Ilang interest. Tapos, let me see. Okay. Then, our grandmother died after... yeah, actually, tingnan po kung gamay na kayo nabilin. My God. Sige. Okay. You must spend the money in your college. You must withdraw from... Assuming that you just withdraw 45 annually beginning today. How much will be left in trust fund after your fifth withdrawal? Okay. So with that, actually, no, 45,000. Okay, so this should be the remaining amount at of your trust fund at the after withdrawing the fifth withdrawal. But do we have a simpler method of solving for this one? So for this one is that you may compute for the present value of the 45 annual payments. So the PV of the payments is PVAD of payments is that's 45,000, and you multiply that by 1 plus I, which is present value. So 1 less 1 less plus point 13, and you raise that to -5 because it's 5 equal installments, and you divide that by 0.13, and you multiply that by 1 plus 0.13. So your present value is this one, and you deduct that from your uh, balance of your trust fund, which is 200,000. Okay. And after deducting that, now you compute for the compound amount of this difference. So compound amount will be this one, and you multiply this by 1 plus 0.13 raised to the power of positive 5, because it's... Is it 5 years? No, it's not 5 years. Is it 5 years? One. No, it's actually 4 years, not five. Anong four naman, sir? Because imagine, you are, ang iyang kuan is after your fifth withdrawal, which will happen at the beginning of the fifth year, which is equivalent to the beginning of the fourth year. The beginning of the fifth year, which is equivalent to the ending of the fourth year. So how many periods were covered? The covered periods are only 4. Okay, so that's year one, year two, year three, until year 4. Okay. So with that, you will get the same answer with this one. Okay. So the amount that will be left in your trust fund will be 34,482.54. Okay. So again, bangag na dito ko ani because my answer is again wrong. Okay, so let's move on to COVID. So, Miss COVID, a daughter of a very rich family, needs a monthly allowance of 50,000. After learning financial mathematics, she proposed to her parents to just deposit an amount in the bank which will meet her needs for the next 4 years of her college life. So they would not be bothered anymore. Okay, assuming that she withdrawn 80,000 a day from the amount her parents deposited because the delivery from Lazada came and that her family savings bank offers a 10% interest. How much later shall she withdraw 1 month from now and following 47 months so she would not have a deficit? Okay, so first is we have to compute for the original should have uh I know. We already know the monthly allowance eh. So now we compute for the amount that was deposited today. Okay. So with that, our present value of ordinary annuity is equal to 45,000 and you multiply that by 1, 1 plus I, 1, no, present value to it. So 1 less 1 plus, how much was that? 0.07, how much was that? 0.10, monthly over 12. And you raise that by negative 4 years times 12 months. And you divide it by 0.10 over over 12. Yeah, and that's just it, right? So the deposit amount was 1774262. Now, uh, your present current your adjusted present value is after the withdrawal for the Lazada amount of 18,000 drawn 80,000. So your balance is already at okay, less that one. Okay. So now is you have to make an effort na maigo si 1694267 for 48 months. So you have to solve for payment using the present value of your ordinary annuity na formula. So with that equals this is our new present value and we divide that by the 1 less 1 plus 0.10 over 12 and we raise that to negative 10 times 12, right? Huh? Not negative 10 times, negative 4 times 12. And after that is we close this with that one and multiply this but not no longer. Kana lang siya. Or kana lang siya actually. Yes, okay. So our yeah. Payment divided by 1 less kulang palagi kulang. Divided by 0.10 over 12. Okay. Sige. Okay, so that's 42,970. Ooh, what happened here? uh, mhm. So ang ato ada yung original. Original is what do you call this one? Pila man ni? That's 50,000, right? So our adjustment is 50 minus or like this one plus 50. So lesser of 7,029. Bakit may difference akong 5,000? Baka inisip ko 45,000 lang during while I was solving for this one. Probably. Anyhow, so the amount is not 2,000 but 7,029.01. Okay. Now, let me see muna my kaya pala. Oh, tama. Hindi 45,000 to JP. This is 50,000 pa. Sabi ko na nga ba, medyo may mali yung solutions ko. 50,000. Okay. Oh, ayun. So, tama pala yung sagot ko. The answer is 2029.01 lesser. How about these other things? But I believe in this. I believe in this also. How about this one? Yeah, okay. What other? This one, the interpolation one. Okay, I have to revisit that. This one also. But for now, let's just assume that this is actually the correct answer. I'll just if I don't update you, meaning the answers in this video is correct. If ever I update you, so that update will actually be the correct answer. Okay. So actually, how many tawag nito, incorrect answers do I have right now? I have one, number two. Mm-hmm. What else? Mm, okay, number two so far. Number six and number seven, I think. Uh, Number 10. So I have four incorrect answers so far. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. Okay, now let's move on to problem number 12. How much more will you earn from an annuity of 50,000 for 3 years at 7% compounded sum annually if it is invested at the beginning of every 6 months as compared to if it is investment at the end of every 6 months? Okay, so we simply have to compare here the future value of ordinary annuity and the future value of annuity due. Okay. Okay. So that's just 50,000 for your annuity payment. We multiply that by our factor. So that's 1 plus our I is 0.07 over 2. Okay. And you raise that to how much? 3 years. So that's 3 times 2. And you divide that by our rate of 0.07 over 2. Okay. And with that, this is our VOA. And for our FVAB, simply have to multiply this by 1 plus I of 0.072 over 2. And we deduct the 2. Our difference should be, oh, what happened here? Bakit may 61? 50,000. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ito lang naman yung dinagdag ko ah. Mm. Ano? Wait lang. Not convinced. It's 3 times 2 because it's semi-annual, right? Mm-hmm. 0.07 over 2. Let me see. Let me see. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. 0.035. Oh, that's not it. That's not it. Wait a minute. 50,000. Wait a minute. Less 1 plus 0.0375 raised to the power of 6 minus 1. Mm-hmm. Sobraan ba ko? 0? Let me see. Control Z. Control Z. Wala man po. Ay, oh my God. Wala ako nag-deduct of 1. I'm so sorry. JP. Minus 1. Sorry, guys. Minus 9. Okay. So, Ayun. So our difference is 11,642.77, 462.77. Or simply multiply this one, your FVOA, with your I. Okay, and you will still get the same answer. Okay, for our number 13. A bedroom showcase sells for 36,000 as an incentive. The store manager offers to accept 1,500 to be paid at the beginning of every month for 2 years. So that's 1,500. Let's see, 1,500. You multiply that by 2 every month. No, every 2 years. 12 times 2. 36,000. So meaning, wala siya interest nga ginasingil. So pila di ang iyahang implied iyahang actual na interest rate. So actually guys, your clue for this one would yung actual interest rate di pala dahil. Ang pangutanaan ni dayon is pila di ay ang actual value of your interest or the equivalent value of 1,500 payments compounded at 12% monthly for 2 years. So simply have to present value of annuity due. So this is that's 1,500 and you multiply that by 1 less 1 minus 1 plus 0.12 over 12, and you raise that by negative 2 times 12. Sorry. And you divide that by 0.12 over 12. Okay. And you multiply this again by 1 plus 0.1 plus 0.12 over 12. Okay, so this actually is the actual value of your bedroom showcase. Okay. For number 14, your girlfriend just won of the Florida lottery. She has the choice of 12% today or a 10-year annuity with the first payment coming 1 year from today. What rate of return is put into the annuity? So simply here is just iyang gina-assume nga ay more bitag here is kind of bitang ginapangutan na niya nga pila di ay ang interest or implied interest within the kuan kay naman siya, this is assuming that the present value of 1,500 or yung question here is what interest rate will give a present value of 12 million to the 1,500,000 dollars nga annuity payments, which is 10 kabuok. Okay, so kani is mag interpolation na punta. Okay, so let's start with 10%. Our target amount is pila to target 12 million. Tapos let's start with 10%, no? So that's 1,500,000. Multiply that with the present value annuity formula. So 1 less 1. 1. Annuity naman siya, no? So diretso lang tawa. Sige, 1 plus 0.10. Let's start with 10% nga. Raised to the power of 10 years. So that's negative 10. And then we divide that by 0.10. Okay. So this is very little. So in order to go to do higher 10% value, we need to go lower sa ang interest rate. So let's try 8%. Okay, barag layo na jud kayo siya. Okay, 0.8. 0.08 then. 0.08. Okay. Let's try again another 2%. So 6%. Now decrease. 6 and 6. Okay, so medyo dual na. So let's try 5%. Try 5. Let's try 5. Okay. Okay, dual na. So let's try 4%. Okay. 4. 4. Okay. So lapas na po siya. So this will be our low, this will be our high, and this will be our X. Okay, so let's move with high minus X. Okay, so equals this one minus x, and I minus low. Okay, so percentage rate. Mhm. Okay, so 0.28. So let's try 4.28 then. So 4.28, yeah, 28%. Okay, try 4.28. Okay, so mas gamay siya sa 12 million. Again, our if in solving for problems like this, our target should be kanang tawag nyo higher than our kanang ginasolve na value. So let's try for, since we need to go higher, we need to go lower a little bit. So 4.27. Okay, so with that, our answer should be 4.27%. Now, how did I know whether i-add or i-add na to ni or i-minus from 4% or 5%? Now, dali atong formula is high minus low minus x, and this one is high minus low. So common man si high, so you start with high, percentage of high is 4. So in order to get a number in between 4 and 5, you have to add this one from 4%. That's why we got 4.28. So for the last item, you want to buy a brand new Honda motorcycle. You have the enough cash to pay the 400,000 cash price of the item. However, you have the option of paying a down payment of 40,000 and the remaining balance through installments of 8 9 at the beginning of every month for 2 years. If money is worth 9% and you chose to pay the cash price the cash price, comparing the equivalent values today, how much did you save or lose? For the cash price, we have cash price, not a 400,000. For our installment, not a down payment worth 40,000. So ang ato ada yung installments are 88. So pila di ato ang present value of our installments. So present value of installments is 8,900. Multiply lang din natin siya ng 1 less 1 point. This at the beginning of every month, no? 1.09 1 plus 0.09 over 12 raised to the power of, this is 2 years for monthly, so negative 2 times 12, and we divide this by 0.09 over 12, and we additionally multiply this one plus I because this is at the beginning of every period. Okay, so our installment will actually cost us this one, 9%. 40,000 remaining balance for installments, 8,000, 1 less 1.7, 20. For 2 years, Monday, no? Okay. Okay, so our total is beginning of every month. This is 24. Mm-hmm. Mm. Ayo kayo siya. Sure ko, Ali. Wait lang. Wait lang guys, ha. Ah, the installments. Ah, okay. Okay, 400,000 cash person. However, you have the option of paying a down payment of 40,000. The remaining balance through installments every month. Okay. Last na lang item. Dili? Or basig ikaw ang bungol? Dili yun? Oh my God, sige. Gahong. Seryoso? Oh my God. Sige, tanaw na pa ma-recording ano. Kung dili, mag-retake na pud ko. So, kaway, nag-video pa ko. Ah. Kailangan ko na microphone, masig kuan lang ba? Pwede ba ito? Basic power. Ay, kung mag-igana ko kay akong gina-check man akong solution kay mo something's wrong. Lahi na pud ako ang answer key. Hala, tama gid ay. So actually guys, so muli siya ang answer. So lima kabog ako answer key nga wrong, pero I will revise. Hubog ba ako? Ay, hubog ka nagbilar ba kay kuan pag kuan wala ko'y tulog. Ko sa gap. Pag solve na ako last time ko doon naman sila gap ba. Okay, sige lang guys. So I will revisit 5 items. If dili ko bag-update sa inyo nga kanang it's either save akong video. So meaning, ang video ang sakto, tapos ang answer key na ako ang wrong. Okay, so this should this is actually the what do you call this one? This is actually the answer for number 15. So with that, our discussion for your quiz for chapters 4 to 5 is or done. So hopefully do nga na-clarify na sa inyong mga utok ang mga butang na nakapalibog. And hopefully, if dapat mo yung clarifications, please don't hesitate to ask me sa ato ang group chat or sa classroom. Okay, so thank you so much guys. Bye!